Welcome to the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast with Michael LaFido, where top luxury agents reveal their best practices, plus interviews with real estate industry influencers, thought leaders, and luxury marketing experts. You'll come away from each episode with new strategies and tactics to dominate high-end homes in any market. And now for the latest episode of Luxury Listing Specialist. Here's your host, luxury real estate expert, coach, and trainer, Michael LaFido.
Hey everybody, Michael LaFido. Welcome back to Luxury Listing Specialist. You're in the right spot if you're an agent looking to work smarter, not harder, and if you're looking to add more high-end and luxury properties to your portfolio. I'm excited about today's podcast, today's episode. We are going to do something a little different. We're going to combine two interviews where agents definitely thought outside the box. Some agents think it was unprofessional or not unethical what they've done, but I'll leave that up to you. But these two agents definitely were creative and thought outside the box and increased traffic to their properties. So, again, we have one agent who basically is selling a home in the Pennsylvania market. They call it the 50 Shades listing, and it includes a sex dungeon, and this agent is going to talk to us about that property first, and then the second half of our show, we're going to be talking to Kristin out of the Houston market, where she brought in underwear models, a male and a female, and took those photos and put them in the multiple listing service. And by the way, they got removed within 24 hours, but she's going to talk about how, she's got over 100,000 views on that particular property, and in the first month she had 200 views before she did this. So again, sit back, listen, enjoy the show. With that being said, I want to bring our first guest on. So really appreciate your time. Welcome, Melissa Leonard out of the Pennsylvania area. Welcome back to another episode of the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. You're in the right spot if you're looking to work smarter, not harder, if you're looking at ways of increasing your average sale price and selling more high-end and luxury properties. I've been having various guests from various backgrounds on previous episodes, and I'm really excited about today's guest. But before we do that, I do believe one of the core competencies, one of the things that real estate agents need to do when you're talking about high-end and luxury homes or average priced homes or entry-level priced homes is to make your client's listing stand above the competition and be memorable. Be memorable to local buyers, to local sellers, to others in the industry, other real estate agents, and news and media, which is a great kind of a segue to today's guest. But before I introduce Melissa, many of you perhaps remember a few years back I was selling a property in Chicago, and that home had a bathroom that I call it the Twister theme bathroom. If you remember the old board game from Hansborough, the Twister board game, you spin the little thing and it tells you yellow circle, green, red, that sort of thing. Blue, I think, was the other color. And these sellers at the time of mine, they had a bathroom that was themed after the board game, and they had green, red, yellow, blue circles throughout the tiles, and it was very unique. And I saw an opportunity to showcase this bathroom when the two other agents before me didn't have photos, didn't talk about it, etc. I saw an opportunity. Matter of fact, the Chicago Tribune did a story on this particular property, and it was, what will $3 million buy in Chicagoland? It was Trains, Trump, or Twister bathroom. It will cost you $3 million. Trains was a home that I sold that had a train that went around the perimeter. Trump was a penthouse unit in the Trump Tower downtown, and Twister Shower was this home I was selling. Again, we got some great exposure on the property, and we thought outside the box. And that is exactly what Melissa Leonard, who I have on from Coldwell Banker out in Pennsylvania, did. And I'm going to give you a little background. Maybe you guys have heard of this story. Melissa is selling a property that's currently on the market for $750,000 in Maple Glen, Pennsylvania. And this particular property, some people have referred to it as, I believe it was the 50 50 Shades real estate listing, or the sex dungeon property, but this property has got some unique features to it, and Melissa didn't shy away from it, and that's why she's on the show. So Melissa, welcome.
Thank you.
So just a reminder to any guest, if you have any questions about this episode or anything else, you can shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. So Melissa, first off, tell me about this property. It's in, as I mentioned, Maple Glen, Pennsylvania. You and I talked a little before the recording, and it's been on for a few weeks. The average sale price in this market is around $700 to $750. So this is what's considered kind of an average priced home for this given market. Mm-hmm. And you've been on for a few weeks, and you've had 34 showings with 6 canceled because of weather related, but you had 40 showing requests in 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Yes, most of them were really the first week.
Yeah, as many of the listeners know, the first 30 days, but the first 7 to 14 days are crucial when you're marketing a home. After that, naturally, you're going to get less online inquiries, less showings. That's why you got to come out the gate priced right. Your photos have to be on cue. I call it the property launch. The property launch is key. In this case, Melissa got some amazing PR right off the bat. This particular room that we're talking about, I hate to call it the sex dungeon, but talk to us about where this room is. It's in the basement, correct?
Yes, it's in the basement. But the basement's like a full finished basement that it's furniture. I mean, it can be moved out if somebody doesn't want it, and it's just a typical basement at that point. But it is in the property right now because they do use this property as an Airbnb also.
Okay. And talk to us a little bit about the property.
The property is gorgeous. I mean, it's a really nice suburban home, 4 bedrooms upstairs, one, in the basement. Nice kitchen, nice appliances, nice wooded backyard, private street with only 2 other neighbors. So it has a lot of great features all by itself. It's just that the basement sets us aside what makes us different.
And when you first walked in the property and discovered the lower level of the basement, A, what was your reaction? And B, what went through your mind initially?
Well, the seller did give me a heads up. He did call me and say that I need a special type of realtor that's going to be comfortable with my house and that I'm not going to change a thing, so it's going to be exactly the way it is, and that I want you to view my Airbnb listing and see what you think. So I was actually driving, and I said, let me, get home, and I'll look at it later tonight. And he's like, no, I want you to pull over and look at it now. So I pulled over, looked at it, and I was like, oh, okay, you have this little 50 Shades, sexual oasis going on in your house. And he's like, yeah, and he's like, can you come over and look at it? So I came over the next day, and I walked down there, and, I was kind of a little nervous at first. I didn't really know what I was going into, but I saw it, and, I was just like, okay, this is the way it is. I can't, I'm not going to change it because he's not changing it, so it is there. So my choice was to either just focus on this beautiful house and not put any pictures of the basement and just and then when a realtor would have made an appointment, say, hey, you're going to walk down the basement, it's what you're going to see. So I could have done it that way. And I think I would say 99% of the realtors out there would have done it that way. But I thought to myself, hey, you know what? This house is what makes it different. I mean, I started talking to my friends and my family, telling them about it, and they're like, that is really funny and really different, and, you should contact Philadelphia Magazine and tell them about it because maybe they want to do an editorial. So I did, and they were like, well, why should we do this? And I pitched it to them, and then they said, you're right, we're going to do an editorial on it once you list it. So I really thought it was going to be them and me and the local area that would have really found out about this house, and not that it would have been on CNN and all the news stations and The View talked about it, and all different tomorrow Face the Truth TV show on CBS is going to talk about it. So I mean, it's been a lot of different places and all over the world, but I didn't really expect it to go that viral like it did.
Yeah, it definitely went viral, and one of our modules in our certification is all about press and PR, how to get additional exposure for your property. And the amount of exposure in New York Post and The View, I mean, if you were to hire a PR firm, I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in exposure that you got for free for not shying away, and I guess I hate to use the word leveraging this sex dungeon, but leveraging this 50 Shades property to be memorable. And so you and I talked a little bit offline, but comparable properties. You're an agent with Coldwell Banker, and comparable properties that have been on the market, you might get 1,000 views or that sort of thing. You said on Coldwell Banker's website, and they might do a culmination of websites, but there's been 2.3 million views for this property.
Yes, that's what they sent me, saying that, the views. But again, I don't know if that includes, I know Realtor.com was over 1 million hits, Zillow was over 750,000, and Redfin was over that. So I don't know if they accumulated them or if that's, just them, because we have different websites. But, that's the most, just on Realtor.com, they said it was the most they've ever had of any house being, shown. So that was, it made history.
Oh, my goodness. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, so it's been on 2 weeks, 34 showings. Any second showings, any offers?
It didn't have any. It had one second showing, and we haven't had any offers. It would have had even more showings because there was a ton of people that just wanted to go view it. And I was kind of strict about it with realtors that I didn't want them going in unless they really had a real client, because I felt that a lot of realtors were just trying to be like, oh, I was in the sex house, and not really be, they didn't even have a buyer or wouldn't have a buyer. So I wanted to keep it really limited because also there were like overlapping showings and I didn't need so many people in the house at once that weren't serious. So now we are, opening it up to, I guess more could see it. But I really did want to limit it to people. We talked about it. My seller actually said to me, do you want to do one? And I actually said no, because I feel like you're going to attract a lot of people that are, again, not going to be interested in the house, but are just going to want to be like, as if they're going to a museum. I went in or see some kind of, the love sign in Philadelphia, like they're going to go see the sex house in Philadelphia. Yeah, so I just didn't want to open it up to that because I don't feel I could even control all the people that we might get to come to it. Yeah,
interesting. So this is a unique story. We normally don't have guests on like yourself, but it is a unique story. You heard the old sex sells, and I'm not suggesting to our listeners that you go out and plant anything like this in your properties, but what I am suggesting is that if there's something unique about the property that you think might have a viral component to it, something to make your property memorable, think about it. Now, of course, there's great resources out there where, Melissa could have photoshopped out this a little bit and then given, like I'm selling a property, for example, that has this gentleman's a hunter, and there's a stuffed lion that he killed and a water buffalo. And I used a website out there called boxbrownie.com, and for $4 they remove 2 items. And so what I do is I give buyers a heads up when we're showing the home, like, hey, there is a lion and a buffalo that's stuffed in the basement. So I'm disclosing it, but I'm not disclosing it on the actual pictures. You can put in our MLS that some pictures are virtually staged, so you can disclose it that way. But our job is to get as much traffic on the property as possible. So I want to commend you for doing that. You're definitely been thinking outside the box. If we can be of any help to you, and by all means, but keep being aggressive, leverage these opportunities, Melissa, for you as an agent, and hopefully you get the seller top dollar. At the end of the day, a home is only worth what someone is willing to pay. So I don't know if you're priced right, but at the end of the day, if you are priced right, hopefully you get this property sold as you go into the hot season. As you based in the Philadelphia market is very similar to a lot of Midwest markets. You are seasonal because of the snow and the cold winter, and then of course school year. And you and I were talking, and you were saying, the primary months are March through to June, so to speak, in Philadelphia, and that's the case where I'm based in Chicagoland as well.
Right, they are.
So, again, if any guests have any questions about this property and they got a referral out in the Philadelphia area, what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you, Melissa?
Okay, well, I'm at Coldwell Banker Preferred. My main office is in Bluebell, and my phone number is 610-310-2666. or they can always email me at melissaleonardhomes@gmail.com. And then I also have 2 Instagrams that are Realtor Melissa and Philly Socialite.
Awesome. Again, we'll put your contact information on the luxurylistingpodcast.com. And again, if you guys have missed other episodes, check out Luxury Listing Specialist on iTunes or Stitcher. Again, any questions about this episode or past episodes, or you have questions in general, whether you're a broker owner looking to strengthen your luxury division, or you're an agent looking to break into and sell more high-end and luxury properties, feel free to reach out to us. Check out our certification, luxurylistingspecialist.com, or our book that is on Amazon, Luxury Listing Specialist. My name is Michael LaFido. Keep raising the bar in real estate. Again, Melissa, I appreciate your time. And folks, remember, it's not the market, it's the marketing. And Melissa took this idea to make this property memorable in the form of marketing. So thank you for being our guest, and thank you for your time.
Thanks again.
Hey there, it's Michael LaFido. Thanks again for listening to our podcast. If you are interested in signing up for our Luxury Listing Specialist certification, or if you want additional information on how you can dominate selling higher-end homes in your marketplace, make sure you go to luxurylistingspecialist.com. Again, thank you, Melissa, for your time. And with that being said, I'm excited to bring our next guest in, Kristin, out of the Northwest Houston market. She's the agent who brought in Underwear Models to showcase the vacant home that wasn't getting any activity. So let's go right into her interview. All right, I'm excited about our next guest, Luxury Listing Specialist. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. Again, if you have any emails or questions about our previous guest, or you have a suggestion, or you want more information on our consulting services or our certification, shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. Again, don't forget to check out our previous episodes on iTunes or Stitcher, or go to luxurylistingpodcast.com. Okay, my next guest, I'm really excited. We always talk about being creative, thinking outside the box, and that's exactly what she did, and that's why she is on this episode. She's a real estate agent in the Northwest Houston market with a company called Home Pros. Kristin Gyldenege, did I say that correct?
You did.
All right, Kristin, welcome.
Thank you.
So the story, the backdrop on this is Kristin is marketing a home in the Houston marketplace. Originally went on the market for around $230,000. They weren't getting any activity. So perhaps you've heard about this, and it's been in the news and that kind of stuff. But Kristin brought in a good-looking male and a good-looking female, and put them in some I wouldn't even call it scanty clothing. It was basically workout underwear, if you will, or briefs, boxers, I should say. And long story short, she retook some photos and put them on the MLS, and literally she was going from 200 views for the entire month of October. This listing was viewed 200 times for the entire month of October. To the week of Thanksgiving, she had 10,000 views alone. By the end of November, 50,000, and to date, over 100,000 views. Is that pretty accurate, what I'm saying there, Kristin?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for being on the show. And out of curiosity, how did you ever come up with this idea? Or what prompted you to think about this? It's a vacant home. You weren't getting showings. And so what went through your mind when you came up with this idea?
Well, I've had a continued frustration with just the same old. Everything is overdone, especially in the real estate industry. And the same old pictures, everybody does the same angles and, makes the same mistakes for that matter. And there's very rarely anything that ever jumps out and grabs your attention about a house, especially a house that is, pretty plain Jane to begin with. So I needed something that would capture attention and get people to look at the house. And if anything, just to get it to go viral and get as many people to view the house as possible.
Well, it certainly worked. So you had several within 12 hours or 24 hours. You had several complaints to the Houston Association of Realtors, which is the board you belong to, and they ultimately removed those photos, correct?
Correct.
So you put the home on in October. It's still on the market today. The price has been lowered to $209,000 from $230,000. You went from 0 showings to you've had roughly 50 showings since this you deployed, I guess, this photo. I don't want to call it a tactic or a stunt, but this photo bringing in the female and male, which it didn't cost you anything. They work out at a gym that you know somebody, and a male and a female. You brought them in, took photos, and you had about 50 showings since then, correct?
Correct.
And so Kristin and I were talking a little bit, and, I believe our job is to create buzz around the property, to get people talking about it, get more clicks, more views. The more eyeball traffic, the more clicks, the more views, the more likelihood somebody contacts you as a buyer's agent or, in this case, Kristin, the listing agent, directly. And she's told me before we started this recording, she's gotten calls from homeowners across the country thanking her for being creative and wishing their agent that they have marketing their home was as creative as you. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's awesome. And other real estate agents have also complimented you, but it seems to be the local agents that have been a little jealous. They're the ones that reported you, I guess.
Yeah, it was the local agents that reported me, and from what I gathered, which the feedback that I got was it was a couple that had come forward that they had reported me. They were older agents that were friends of friends and had seen it posted on their page, and of course clicked through it, and they just decided that it was just an absolute disgrace to real estate and that it needed to be reported. So, I knew it was not going to come without backlash, but, ultimately it's worth the risk. If it gets someone to look at the house that would have never looked at the house before and decides, maybe this actually is a cute house, or, this is a thought. Let's go look at this one.
Yeah, and her and I were talking a little bit, and for those of you that don't know this, only 10% of buyers, let alone buyers agents, can visualize. Unfortunately, 90% of buyers and agents see the home the way it is the day they see it online or the day they walk through it. So that's why staged homes sell faster than non-staged homes. So this home right now, the pictures, it's unstaged. The sellers have elected not to stage it. And so one of the things Kristin and I were talking about, and I had a suggestion for her, would be it's a very bold color. It's a blue color of the exterior. And if people don't like the curb appeal, many times they can't even visually see past that, even if the house is amazing on the inside. And so there's a website that many of you, write this down. It's called boxbrownie.com, boxbrownie.com. And if you don't have an account already, write this promo code down. Use the promo code LUXURY, and you'll get $40, same as cash. And they, in this case, can digitally update the exterior with a different paint color. I'm all about disclosing, and some MLSs allow you to do digital staging if you disclose it. And my suggestion to Kristin would be to digitally paint the outside, get some estimates, and then give a credit to make that a reality if the sellers don't want to make that investment. And that goes to everyone that's listening. Unfortunately, most buyers can't visualize. Human beings are lazy by nature, and buyers today are picky. They want turnkey. They want to move in and not do anything except unpack, their bags. So that would be my suggestion. But you're doing some amazing things. The data that you rambled off to me was very impressive. And for those of you that want to look up this property, the address is 590 Mosswood Drive in Conroe, Texas, Conroe, Texas. The current asking price is $209,000, and again, there's really cool photos on there. You've gotten some really good PR because of it personally. It's been featured on local ABC. And have you gotten any other calls or requests because of this, Kristin?
I have. Actually, I have HGTV contacted me to kind of put together a show. So we're kind of working on that right now. It's just in the very early stages about unconventional real estate because they were looking for something fresh and new, and they were burnt out on traditional real estate shows.
Yep.
So it just kind of went hand in hand with what they were looking for, and we are in the works on that. So it's kind of exciting.
Well, that's awesome. Well, if anybody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way? They might have a referral in the Houston market or want to contact you.
Absolutely. So you can call me at 832-236-5365, or you can reach me at thepottymouthagent@gmail.com, or I have a blog on Facebook. You can message me directly at the Potty Mouth Agent on Facebook.
The Potty Mouth Agent. That's hilarious. Well, hey, listen, I really appreciate what you're doing there. I'd recommend, as I mentioned, boxbrownie.com. I do think that would help you. And keep being creative, Kristin, and that goes for the other agents. Again, when everybody else goes left, I suggest you go right. When everybody else brings the iPad or the laptop to the listing appointment, we bring our video book that agents that have our certification have. So, again, thank you for your time. And for those listeners out there, again, if you have any questions, shoot us an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. Or if you want more information on our certification, go to luxurylistingspecialist.com. And keep raising the bar. And if somebody tells you can't do something, my suggestion would be to prove them wrong. Have a great day, everybody. And thanks again, Kristin.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, that concludes both interviews on this episode. It was a different interview. We've never done two interviews and combined them on a podcast. I hope you could appreciate that. I thought there was great content from both guests as to a little bit of why they did it and what the results were. I'm certainly not advocating stepping outside of ethics and that sort of thing, but I am always a big believer in stepping outside of your comfort zone. And when others tell you can't do something, I love proving them wrong. So again, if you have any questions for me, send it to michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. And if you want more information about our book, just go to Amazon, look it up, Luxury Listing Specialists. It's $29.95. But if you are serious about taking your business to the next level this year, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you want to add more high-end and luxury properties to your portfolio, check out luxurylistingspecialist.com or shoot us an email, and we'll be glad to talk about the various modules and what you get with our certification and our training and our network of top producing luxury agents. My name is Michael LaFido. Remember, it's not the market, it's the marketing. And until next time, check out previous episodes on iTunes or Stitcher, luxurylistingspecialist.com. Have a great day and continue to raise the bar in real estate. Take care.